Welcome back to Blazer Bites. Today we have some of our wrestlers from our state tournament recently. So if you guys want to introduce yourself.
Madeline Reedinger.
Ty Hammers.
I'm Jocelyn Carlisle. I'm just the manager.
Thank you all guys for coming on. So we're just going to have questions. And if you guys want to hop in, or people on the camera can hop in, Tim can hop in. So we just have a little talk. So for our first question, if you guys want to tell us how you got into wrestling and or if anybody inspired you to join.
Well, my brother actually started wrestling before me, so that's how I got introduced into it. But I really just started wrestling so I could be better at football, and then ended up liking wrestling more. So now I'm just a full-time wrestler.
I got into wrestling because my dad wrestled, and he made me start wrestling at a very young age. So, yeah.
Jocelyn, you just wanted to join to hang out
My
with Ty?
dad used to coach, so I just kind of enjoyed the sport from having to watch him coach and watch my brother be at tournaments the whole time, and then I just love our coaches and our team and stuff.
You guys have any favorite traditions that you guys do throughout your year or during your matches or before, anytime like that?
Traditions?
Like tradition, do you have a ritual or anything that you do?
Council?
We go on a lot of trips. I think trips are the most fun part of our season because there's so much team bonding that happens on trips, and we'll go to movie theaters or just eat dinner together every night. It's just a fun time.
Do you guys throw chalk dust in the air like LeBron James?
I wish it was that cool.
I mean, spotlights are cool.
Yeah,
that would count as a tradition.
Yeah,
the tradition of the
senior
spotlight.
nights or whatever.
Yeah, every home tournament. Well, away tournaments do it too, but it's just every one of our home tournaments. We have one mat out for finals or a duel, and it has a spotlight on top of it.
And we look so cool.
Because the whole room's black and just that's lit up.
Oh, you guys dye your hair for the state tournament?
Yeah, this is actually the first year we've done that.
Mm.
I don't think anybody has ever done that from
I thought the girls did it last year for the state
No,
tournament.
they did blue.
They do it every year. They did
yeah.
it this year. Her
Oh,
whole head
yeah.
is kind of blue.
It's turning green now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you have anything that you enjoyed this season?
Council Bluffs State was really fun. I enjoyed traveling.
You guys are talking about the Iowa tournament. Is there any special things that go on during that? Because I know it's a really big tournament for everybody.
Yeah, it is. It is a big tournament. I think it's just fun because we get to get out of our normal atmosphere. I mean, there's something about whenever you leave the state, and I don't know. For me, it kind of feels like nothing really matters there. So you kind of wrestle free, and I mean that's how it at least feels like for me.
Council's also one of our first tournaments of the year, but it's also one of our hardest. So I think it's a good time for especially this year, we had so many freshmen or sophomores that were on varsity because so many upperclassmen graduated. So I think it was just fun to kind of watch them find themselves, bond with the team more, and just become a part of the team.
You and your guys' coaches have really big impacts. Do you have anybody that you love that helps you grow?
Enlo.
Boyer.
You talked about Enlo first.
Enlo, he's just an amazing coach. He was there since day one, and he believes in me a lot more. Not saying that the other coaches don't believe in me, but he is set on you can do this, you can do this kind of stuff.
Me and Boyer are basically, the same person. If I was a reincarnation of him, or of anybody, it would be him. So we get along just super well. I worked for him, and I don't know, I just feel close with Coach Boyer.
Courts is definitely a huge role model of my life. Just freshman year, just randomly kind of joined, didn't really know him, and he just knows how to connect to every kid, and every interaction he has with a kid is so planned out, has a purpose to it. He's trying to get closer to that kid, and he truly does care. So I think Courts is just one of the most incredible people.
My first time coming here, freshman year, for summer weights, Coach Courts, he tried to recruit me to wrestling because he saw me wearing my dad's T-shirt because my dad was a big wrestler. So then I joined, tore my labrum second day in. Then I never came back.
Which coach do you think would win in a fight?
Oh yeah,
Boyer.
Boyer?
Or
Easily.
McCall.
Easy.
Yeah.
McCall's a
McCall.
fighter.
Yeah.
Okay,
McCall.
CJ's a fighter too.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Boyer. Definitely dog. You know.
Yeah, Boyer probably. I
What's
think
your
McCall's
favorite
second.
like inspirational talk? Like, what is your who's the best inspirational talker?
Courts.
Courts.
Easy.
What does he say?
Yeah,
What
go
are
into
some
detail.
things-
One word answers.
I'm not sure what he says. It's just, in the moment. If we got a tournament coming up, he'll, he just talks, I guess.
They're also really good talking about like outside lives. Like they know we're teenagers. They know we sometimes do stuff we shouldn't, and so they'll just kind of, if they know Christmas or something's coming up, they'll just make sure everyone's responsible. Like go over and talk with that and stuff. And they're very good at like scaring people,
Scaring people.
intimidating people.
Yeah, do the right thing.
Like, oh, I'm watching you.
Yeah.
It's the Coach O treatment. Yeah.
Coach
O.
That's great.
Coach O is locked on for people doing anything stupid.
Oh, yeah. And, oh, man. Our coaches know. They will find out.
Mm-hmm.
They know everything. It's not like you can't slide
You can't
anything
hide
past
anything.
them. They know, and they will find out.
You guys have a least favorite like practice or conditioning drill that you guys do?
I think
So-
Hell Week.
Hell Week?
Every year is the worst thing. It is really bad. You wake up at 6 a.m, or no, we get to practice at 6 a.m, and then you do wrestling, which is hard, and then you go to school, and by the time you've wrestled in the morning, you go to school, you're drained, you just want to go home, take a nap, eat some food or whatever, and then you got to wrestle again for another 2 hours after school, and you do it for 5 days, and it's pretty tough. I'm sure you
The
agree.
turkey trot. I hate that. That is horrible. Such
Do you
a
want to explain what the turkey trot is?
Turkey trot. So after Thanksgiving week, we have a big practice, and we basically just run around in the school gym and do some other exercises.
You're professional, right?
Yeah.
That's not what we do normally.
Really?
Usually it's like 10 times worse
It was just because of the weather. Usually it's outside.
on the track.
So wait till next year.
No.
I know Whitley. I think Whitley quit because of the turkey trot.
'Cause the turkey trot. He might have. He really
Yeah.
might have.
That's funny.
I think he did, because Colton, one of my best friends, Colton Coons, he quit, and like 2 days later, Whitley had to do the turkey trot. And then after that, I think Whitley was done. But Whitley kept trying to get me back into it too.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
Because Whitley was kind of good at wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He could have been really good.
Whitley didn't want to go against JL constantly. I wouldn't want to either.
Who?
Jay Jensen.
Oh, Jay.
Yeah, I would not want to
Jay
go
was
against
a dog.
Jay. He looks different now. Jay looks like Shaggy now.
Really?
He lost a bunch of weight. He wears glasses. He has a
He
pongtail.
does. He looks like a hippie.
Yeah, he looks like Shaggy.
Straight
I
from
need
the
to do
70s.
Facebook stalking.
Jay's cool though. He's a pretty cool guy.
He's alright.
Do you guys have a person that you went against that's like the best person that you've ever gone against, like wrestled against?
McAllister. If he's he's a guy from Mill Valley. I think he went 48-1 this year. I'm not sure how he got that loss, but I'm pretty sure his loss was not even from like really losing. I'm pretty sure he had to like medically forfeit in one of his tournaments. He's a Nebraska commit. He just won his second state title, and I went up against him in the quarterfinals at state, and I gave him a run, but I still lost by 3 points. He was pretty good.
Are you a senior this year?
He's a senior. this
You're gonna
year.
run. You got to run it next year. Then.
Next year, it's
next year. Yeah.
Katie Bonsgalia. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she's from Iowa. I wrestled her at Council Bluffs for first place. She beat me really bad, but I'm pretty sure she's nationally ranked, and I'm pretty sure she's like the first girl in Iowa to win state or whatever, something like that. But she's undefeated this year, and she won state this year. So yeah.
What were you saying, man?
Like, explain points and how, like, what.
Explain what wrestling is.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Give a little
Ryan's
voice
not a wrestling fan.
Oh,
for those who don't like really.
You get a takedown, which is 2 points. That's if you're in control.
I don't know.
You don't want to talk
It's
about
pretty
it?
simple. You take
Yeah.
someone down, you get 2 points. The person gets up, they get a point.
if you turn the person on the back, you can get 2 or 3 points.
Depending on how long they're on their back.
And if you
There's
pin them,
also
you
pin-
win.
Yeah,
There
and there's
you go.
penalty points if you do something illegal.
Yeah, if you lock your hands while they're on the mat, you give the other person 1 point.
And then there's stuff like stalling, where if they get multiple, they give up a point. And that can be for as little as like needing to tie your shoe or as like running out of the circle.
I have a fun story about stalling. So my dad, he was a big time wrestler, and then he started wrestling. He was like a ref for like 15 years.
Mm.
One time, I don't remember who, it was like a big match. They were like on the ground. One kid was like stalling, so he called him for stalling. The kid's dad runs down out of the stands onto the mat, starts freaking out on my dad. And my dad's a big guy, so he doesn't care. It's just it was like a lighter weight class. My dad's like, "What are you gonna do?" And they're like filming everything. The guy walks up, shoves my dad. He like bounces off my dad pretty much. And then the police have to come in, and that dude gets arrested because we lived in New Mexico, and it's a felony to touch a ref in New Mexico.
Felony?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that dude got arrested. Then his kid couldn't wrestle in the state of New Mexico anymore or do any like
Oh my
anything
gosh.
sports related because he got called for a stalling.
Dang. Wrestling parents are crazy.
Crazy,
And
yeah.
coaches.
Mhm.
There's so much yelling
Yes.
at refs throughout the day.
You know what? I think everybody involves themselves in wrestling is crazy.
Mm-hmm. You kind of have to be crazy to do it. Yeah, I know. My dad was a 2-time All-American in high school.
We'll see.
Then he went to college in New Mexico for it. And yeah, he's the whole reason I tried to do wrestling. But I was like, after 2 days, I was like, nah, I'm straight. I'm too big for this. I have to get too much conditioning.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I hated wrestling whenever I first started.
Mm-hmm.
My
Other
dad
questions?
made me
Like,
finish it.
you guys have a favorite like sequence that you do, like a favorite like move that you do, or favorite
Sequence?
thing?
I have a fireman's carry.
I got a wing. I love doing the wings. It's my signature move.
Chicken wing.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice that you give to less experienced wrestlers?
I don't know.
The
I
two-
think-
Sorry, talk.
No, I'm good.
I was just gonna comment how both of you don't talk, so talk.
Oh, okay. I think the biggest thing is to stay consistent with it. You know, nobody's going to be great in the very beginning, especially if you're starting later on, like in high school or maybe even late middle school, but just stay consistent with it.
Nobody's gonna be great in the beginning. You won your first tournament.
I won my first tournament.
He doesn't want to brag.
I still wasn't like amazing.
Do you have advice?
No.
You gotta-
It's
Do
gonna
you have
be
weight
hard.
cutting
That's all
advice?
that.
Because you had to cut weight this season.
Oh, I would advise against cutting as much weight as I did. But if you're gonna do it,
Do it smartly.
actually, you know
Don't
what?
do it dumb.
I'm not gonna tell anybody this because this will be going against good health habits.
Yeah.
How much did you cut?
32 pounds.
But then he also wasn't very smart, so he would gain like 10 pounds and then have to like cut 10 pounds every week.
No, I did that. I did that the first week.
It was like the first few weeks.
I gained 10 pounds the first time.
Okay. Did you have to cut?
No, not really.
I don't have any more questions. So, if you guys have any questions for anybody here or anything?
I'm trying to think of wrestling questions. What was your guys' favorite thing of this season?
Favorite
You have like a favorite moment?
thing?
Yeah, like favorite trip, favorite match, favorite thing about the season.
I like seeing the pictures of Pachico getting his hair dyed in the hallway.
This was
or
our
in
second
the
year
place.
dyeing his hair.
Yeah.
And like last year, we just went straight for the permanent dye and did that. And then like he just sweated blue the whole next day. And so this year, they tried to spray it first and instantly washed out of a shower. So he went back to that dye.
Oh yeah, spray would have been way worse for sweat.
Way worse, yeah.
Spray never stays.
Yeah, and it literally immediately came out the first shower he took. I don't know
Yeah.
what we
It's
were thinking.
designed to do that. It's designed
Yeah,
to not be
no,
brown.
literally, yeah. And he
was
did his
good.
beard this year too.
Yeah, but that washed out. So.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you guys do this here, but I like when if somebody wins state and they come over and like they take down their coach on the thing, because I saw Shelby do that last year. I really liked that. That was fun.
Yeah, everyone has something
Yeah.
that they do with their coach or they do on their mat. Like this one kid, what was that kid that they did like the cartwheel round off? He did a gritty and then a cartwheel and then a round off after winning state. The kid that beat Caden Allen.
I know Caden Smith does some wacky things. I've seen him wrestle a couple times. He does his little cartwheels and stuff. With his neon.
I love Caden Smith, and everyone calls him like Minecraft Kid. All the other schools.
He's a dog.
Minecraft kids because he watches Minecraft videos before his matches.
And hey, he goes out and he pins them.
Yeah.
So.
Caden is that guy. In case you didn't know.
Our girls team is also super close.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to talk about that at all?
No.
What is like your guys' like thing that you do before a match? Like say someone like in football, they talked about like they eat a certain meal before.
Oh yeah, like
what
we
is
had
your-
Braven on. Braven always gets Chick-fil-A before his games. Do you guys have any like things you do
No.
before that?
Superstitions.
You know what? I wish I could get Chick-fil-A
Yeah.
before my games, but it doesn't work like that. I don't know.
Do you have like a song that you listen to before to get you right?
I never have a specific song. I kind of just.
Material.
Oh
Girl.
yes, I listen to Material Girl before some of my matches. You know, if I'm tired, whatever her name, Saucy Santana, she be getting me pumped up.
I don't have any.
You don't have
a
nothing.
song?
You don't listen
I
to
just
Material
kind of walk out there and just wrestle.
Everyone immediately eats everything they can after weigh-ins.
Mhm.
That's always.
It's always a rush to see where the Nutella is.
Yeah, the girls and the Nutella.
That's actually so aggravating. I hate that so much because it's like 20 people trying to dig in a bucket. It's like
Now imagine how aggravating it is for like when the managers finally get a break to eat and then we go and there's nothing in the cooler.
you guys can eat whenever you want.
No, we can't. We have to be at everyone's match filming.
I'm talking about like any other time.
Okay, but there's no other time.
In all of time, you cannot eat. What is going on here?
What's your favorite song? Do you guys have a favorite song currently?
I like Superstar. I forget who the person who made it is, but that was my walkout song this year.
Oh, you guys have walkout songs for wrestling?
We do.
Yeah.
Our
Or
home
home
duels.
Yeah, home
Hmm.
duels.
What was your guys' walkout song?
Superstar.
Superstar by who?
I'm not sure. I really don't remember. I don't care that much.
I forgot mine. I forgot my walkout song.
The wrestling poster this year, we do a poster at the beginning of every season that we put like the schedule on and like state places are on it. And this year it was Taylor Swift themed, so like the kids that didn't choose their walkout song, Chico would just put Taylor Swift.
Pachico ditched football for you guys.
Correct.
I don't even know what happened. He did something. Aaron, what's a question? Aaron, you're a big wrestling guy.
Are you now?
Tim,
You can draw some.
you got a question, Tim?
Yeah, I do. I don't do wrestling, and I'm not interested in wrestling. But, would you say that wrestling is more about the technique or who's stronger?
Or
Both.
mentally, like is it mental
Okay.
or?
I mean, you need all three things.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
really need all three things.
I mean, if you're weak, but mentally strong, and
You got good technique, you might be okay.
you might be okay. But, I mean, all three of those things are big. Like, you need to be good at all three to be a good wrestler.
Maddie, what did it feel like to be a state champion?
Oh, yeah.
It felt nice, I guess. It was interesting. When I was pinning the girl, I was crying during my match.
Yeah, before you even pinned her, you
Yeah.
were shocked.
I was shocked and crying because that's the first time I've ever won state. A couple years ago, I've been to state like 3 or 4 times now, and I've gotten 2nd and 5th. My 5th, the one I got 5th in, I lost in my quarterfinals or semifinals match. Got pinned, but I was just happy and shocked that I was actually able to win state. I'm the first readinger on my dad's side to get state as a freshman because my dad's gotten state before.
Your reaction was so fun to watch
Yeah.
because as soon as you got her on her back, you were already like freaking out, almost lost her because you were freaking out.
Yeah,
And then all the pictures, you're like,
Yeah. I wish I wasn't crying during mine because I'm kind of an ugly crier, but yeah. I wish I had a celebration during mine.
yeah, with the coaches.
Yeah.
Did they just give you a hug?
Yeah, they just hugged me. Nothing else.
They had a cute little celebration together.
Yeah. I saw the videos and they were stood up, like, and just hugged each other.
Yeah,
It was
they're like,
cute.
yeah. Court's little arm always came up.
Yeah.
I thought of a question. So, one of my dad's biggest pet peeves is when all of the coaches at the same time are yelling at you on the mat. You guys have like a pet peeve for anything that happens?
No. Not really.
You not like it when somebody like gets an underhook on you, or you not like something like that, or like something that the coaches make you do?
No. Like in like a pet peeve, like
Like-
that's
Like, you get annoyed with everything.
Yeah.
Just list something you
okay.
get annoyed with.
everything.
You have anything in specific?
No, not really.
That the coaches do.
Anything like the coaches do, the person that you're wrestling do, your teammates do?
Hair pulling happens a lot as a girl, right?
Kinda, it just depends. Naomi's lost a big chunk of hair to a girl at our senior night.
Did you ever get your hair pulled?
No.
Dang.
Surprisingly, even though I don't have it braided or anything. Yeah.
All right, what's going on?
Well, you guys are supposed to answer questions. And
Yeah.
It's not happening.
You get it.
Do you guys have any questions for me, for us, for each other?
Anything you want to say about wrestling?
Yeah. Anything you want to say to your coaches or your teammates?
It's a fun sport. I like the sport.
It's fun. Polar opposite opinion here.
Yeah.
Wrestling is not fun for me.
If you guys could go to any school for wrestling, what would it be?
Any school like college?
Yeah.
Oklahoma State. Go
Anyone
Pokes.
that wants me. I really don't
Yeah.
care.
Period.
You guys have aspirations of going to the next level for wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about that since I knew what college was. Going to college at first for football, then I wasn't very good at football, and I was okay at wrestling. So now wrestling.
You don't want to go to college for wrestling?
No, I do want to go to college for wrestling, but if I don't get accepted, then I'll just go to college for whatever else I can.
Tennis.
Tennis.
You can be a rower.
Oh no. Oh.
I get a scholarship for fishing. You can get a scholarship to fishing for some schools.
Dang.
You can actually get a scholarship for fishing.
Yes.
I could get a
You can
scholarship
become
for
a
managing,
professional
which is
fisher.
crazy.
You can become a college fisher.
How is it balancing academic with wrestling? Because we miss a lot of school.
It's okay. I'm kind of struggling. I have to catch up on some schoolwork still, but it's not horrible. Like, I like missing out on classes because I don't like some classes I absolutely hate, but yeah.
I think whenever you get to like your junior and senior year, whenever you really start getting to work, it gets pretty tough. I have missed so much, and trying to balance is pretty hard. I have a lot of stuff to make up.
I work and do wrestling and school, so it's definitely a little tricky, and sometimes I just give up on doing my homework, but it's pretty manageable.
You guys have any, do like the coaches give you punishments for like missing work and stuff? Because I know during football they do that. If like
Yeah.
you're failing.
For F's.
Yeah.
If you have an F, they give you this thing called dice. It's where they roll 2 dice, and
There's a workout on it.
there's a workout on each dice.
Like a hard workout. Like
A
100
hard
burpees
workout.
is one of the things.
100 burpees.
But 100's a lot.
That's pretty light.
We had to do frog jumps for like half an hour because I had an F once and it was not fun. Then you had to do one where you're in full pads. You start at the goal line. You run 5 yards. You have to do an up down. Then you get up. You run 5 yards. You have to do an up down.
Oh, yeah.
We did that. Me and Serge were dying.
Dice are a very common thing. If you miss one practice, like no matter the reason, it's a dice. And they're technically not punishment because like it's missing up for the practice you miss, but definitely seems a little bit like a punishment.
You guys have a favorite like drill or thing that you do during your practices? You guys like you're live?
Oh, yeah.
Like you're live the most?
Live is the best thing about, I think, for me at least, during practice.
Live is the best. I love live. I don't really like drilling. It's not that fun.
Nothing interesting about drilling.
They have a professional wrestling, right?
No.
No, they don't.
No.
They have Olympic wrestling though, right?
So talk about like where wrestlers would go after college.
I don't know. I mean, you don't really go anywhere after that. I mean, the only reason I would see someone wrestling like after college is like you've got U.S. Open, Olympics, all that good stuff, but like you're not getting paid to do it.
Do wrestlers not go into fighters?
MMA. Bo Nickel was one of my brother's friends. He went to the same high school in New Mexico, and he started doing MMA now.
Heck yeah. Bo Nickel went to New Mexico.
Yep, Rio Rancho High School.
Wow, I didn't know there was any wrestlers that were like really good come out of New Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Me and my brother were in the same class. They're 10 years older than me.
Nice.
Doesn't wrestling kind of like transition over to MMA?
Yep.
Yeah.
I do both, so.
That'd be funny.
Awesome.
I didn't know them.
Watch
How are
out,
the
bro.
two different?
How are they different? Not really. That
Well, how do they connect?
How do they connect?
Yeah.
Well, in MMA, you're definitely there's more to think about in wrestling, because wrestling, I mean, that's just one sport. MMA is like every like martial art all in one, pretty much. But me specifically as a wrestler, I think about wrestling a lot during MMA. I don't really know. This is a hard question. How do they correlate? Like,
What's the difference?
that was the difference.
That was the first question.
Yeah.
The difference, like, you can like beat the poop out of the person.
You
in
can
MMA.
talk about what wrestling taught you.
Like, is there certain rules that you can do in MMA but you can't do in wrestling? Like with the walking ring
Yes.
and stuff like
Very
that?
much
What's
so.
the difference?
Wrestling is a lot more. I think wrestling's more strict. MMA you can do pretty much anything. Don't poke people in the eyes. Don't kick them in the no square. That's about it though.
Can you pull? You can't pull hair in MMA, right?
No.
Have you ever thought about doing MMA?
Doing MMA? I do MMA.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Do you have any stories from that, or doing anything? Do you
No,
have
not really. I mean, my first time training, or CJ, one of our coaches, brought me to LFC over the summer, which is a fighting gym in Lawrence, and yeah, I got beat up on pretty bad first time walking in there by the Eudora's head wrestling coach. I went sparring against him. You know how sparring is supposed to be like,
a little light fight?
yeah. No, this guy is trying to kill me.
You guys have any other for wrestling? Do you have any other coaches outside of the school that help you a lot, or like that are in your corner?
No.
Other than my dad, but no. All my old coaches I don't talk to anymore.
You talked about your dad like winning state and stuff. So is he why you got into wrestling?
Yeah, he's the one reason. He started. I'm pretty sure his dad wrestled, and then he and his brothers and his sister almost started wrestling, but she did judo instead. But he's been doing it for a while, and then they had me and my brothers, and my dad was like, she needs to do wrestling. My mom was kind of like, she doesn't really need to do that, but he was like, it would help her in life, and like if she gets attacked or whatever, she knows how to defend herself. So
Did you start wrestling before like our high school and a lot of other schools had like their own girl team?
yeah, when I first started wrestling, I had to wrestle boys because there was hardly any girls that started wrestling, and I hated it because like boys, they'd go really easy on each other, but whenever it came to a girl, they'd go all out, and it's like it wasn't fair. So
Yeah, and women's wrestling is a huge growing sport right
Oh,
now,
yeah.
and it's kind of something we not necessarily forget about. It's just kind of weird to think about how our team is still so new and like
Yeah.
college teams and stuff. Do you want to talk anything more about girls wrestling growing? Or?
No. It's crazy how much it's grown over the couple of years.
Yeah, it's been like what, 5 years?
since it was sanctioned? Like, they have their own?
Yeah.
5 years.
I think so.
Yeah, somewhere around that.
I know Jaden Andrews was on one of the first teams, so I think it was about 5 years ago.
There's only one Division I girls wrestling team.
Yeah, Iowa, right?
What is your goal for like the next couple of years? I know you're a freshman, right? So you have a couple of years. What is your goal? Like, what do you want to get better at, or who do you want to be? Like, is there anything that like you're striving for?
I just want to be the first 4-timer. That's it.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
You can be.
What's your goals for next year?
Win state. I've been trying to win. I've been saying I was going to win, and I haven't. So I'll get one, hopefully, next year. And then continue on down the road.
You said you joined wrestling to help football. Have you played any other sports that wrestling has helped in? Either of you?
I don't know. Do you do any other sports?
I did do volleyball and basketball and judo and softball, but I quit all those and I'm just doing wrestling now. But yeah.
I think wrestling's a sport that really helps with like your kind of yourself and your own self-discipline and self-mindset and stuff. So
Yeah.
do you guys apply that into your everyday life?
Yeah, it depends on the thing.
Yeah, it depends on the thing, but yeah.
It definitely translates to things being physically hard. Like something like that you take a regular person, make them do something hard. For us, I feel like it would be a little bit easier just because, we've been through.
We've been through it.
Yeah. That's what one of our football coaches, Coach Oregon, that's what he said. He's like, if something's hard happening to you in life, you just gotta think, I did Hell Week for a week. I can do this. It's easy. You can't do anything. It's gonna mess you up.
Yeah.
You guys have anything for football? We had a thing every week. We would go in and we'd have like an inspirational talker, like, and one of our coaches would talk. Do you have anything that like your coaches do like that?
I'm not sure. I mean, we brought
Johnny DeJulius?
we brought Johnny DeJulius in.
He's a very inspirational wrestler.
And he's friends with Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what branch we brought in. Was it the Army?
I think so.
I think it was the Army. Last year it was
Forgot
the
about
Navy.
that.
They were pretty cool. I don't know, those guys are tough.
Talk about the practice that they went through with you guys.
I don't know. It was basically a normal practice. They were just, teaching us different things.
It was a weird
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah, it was pretty odd.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. They're teaching us chokes, even though we can't choke people in wrestling, and teaching us weird takedowns. Yeah.
That's from a different sport. I forgot. What it was
He
from.
said it was from.
It might have been judo.
Ow.
She said no.
I don't.
No, the throw might have been from judo.
Maybe, but.
Not the chokes.
You can
She's
choke
saying
people
no.
in judo.
You can?
Yeah,
I know nothing about that.
you can throw people and choke them. It's kind of fun.
Why'd you quit?
Just didn't have time for it. It was during the summer too, and my dad and my grandpa and my aunt started their own little club together, and it was me and my cousins and them, but we just haven't had time since my aunt is busy with her children and they do a bunch of sports.
Do you do wrestling year round?
No, but I'm going to this year. So.
Nice.
Yeah,
You're going to Fargo.
maybe.
You should go to Fargo. You're still 16, so you can, you'll be wrestling kids that are, closer to your age. How old are you? 15?
15.
15, yeah. So somebody will have maybe like half a year on you.
Yeah.
It's hard whenever it gets to like juniors or the 18U division.
You guys bring in like a lot of people to help you with your practices, right? Because like I've seen like they bring siblings in, they bring like other coaches in.
Siblings?
Or I know Charlie's brother was there. He was talking about that. One of my friends,
Who?
Flood.
Charlie, why was he there?
His brother
Who's
was
his
there.
brother?
He was the state champion. I can't remember his name.
He was a state champion from somewhere.
From Olathe North.
Oh. I don't remember. We do bring a lot of people in.
Yeah.
Like, who was that girl last year? That came with Johnny, right?
Oh, she's in the UFC. I
Mhm.
forgot.
So we have some like famous people that come in, but then like you talked about the military, Navy. Talk about the teachers award that we do.
Oh yeah, we give an award out every month to a teacher. Like it's like our teacher of the month or something. And we've got a pretty big wrestling team, and we all vote to see who gets teacher of the month. So then you'll see them hanging around in teachers' walls and stuff.
I think Gillette has one. I've seen that one.
It's fun because a lot of our teachers do take like a lot of pride in it. I know P. Logan like posted about it, and they all have it on their walls.
I saw you guys made like a bunch of Instagram videos. I remember. So you had to like make Instagram. What was that about?
It's the
Winter Olympics. Talk about
yeah,
Winter
the
Olympics.
I hated that. I hated it. That was terrible.
Winter
Really was
Olympics is a tradition that the wrestlers do every year. They break down into like 4 teams, 2 coaches per team, and they do a bunch of random challenges, and whoever wins at the end of winter break then wins it all, and that was one of the challenges.
Whoever got the most likes.
And then the winner ended up buying a bunch of likes.
We don't expose Boyer either.
Tim, we got any more questions? You got any questions logged? No. You guys have like a pre-meet meal that you? I know you can't eat a lot, but you guys have like a thing that you like to eat before a match.
Or something.
I'm gonna ask you guys some questions.
fruit snacks.
Fruit snacks.
Good old air.
Roman, his freshman year, had to eat ice. It's like all he ate all season.
Yeah, I don't know. Like none of us, even this year, like me, Roman, Kason, sometimes like Max, we like all 4 of those, like us, like we would go days without eating food. It was a
Or
rough
drinking
season.
water or
Hmm.
anything.
It was bad. I will never do it again. It ruined it for me this year. It's pretty rough.
Do you guys have a favorite Olympic wrestler or professional MMA fighter?
MMA fighter, Sean Strickland, wrestler, Gable Stevenson,
I like Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is my favorite MMA fighter.
Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
He was. Oh man, I forgot. When did he lose his belt?
That was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
Yeah,
But
he's retired now though. He's still my favorite.
he came out of retirement for Jake Paul, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then lost.
He did the Tony Ferguson fight. Him and Tony Ferguson had their send-off fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
What does Johnny do?
Johnny DeJulius?
Yeah, is he like a fighter or anything?
No, he just.
He just jumps off a
buildings.
cliff. That's all he does.
Yes, he just jumps off buildings for a living.
He used to wrestle, right?
Yeah.
He wrestled for
Okay.
Ohio State.
Oh yeah, that's how he knows Jake.
I'm pretty sure he's I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's a finalist for the NCAA tournament. I'm not sure.
Any more? I think we're gonna send off now.
I mean, unless you guys have like any,
Burning questions.
yeah.
Go follow the
Oh yeah.
GE
Wrestling page.
Wrestling Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Blazer Bites. Make sure to go follow all of our pages on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube at Blaze News Center. And that's all we have for today. Thanks.